So today I am actually going to be working on something I've been wanting to do for a while, and that is digging out a little bit more way up top of my gully garden, kind of near, I have like this in progress rose garden that I'm trying to make happen, but there's a few more feet, well maybe not a few, maybe like 1 to 2 feet that I want to clean more out and add to that bed. So that's just kind of what I do in my garden. Everything over on this side of my house, from basically, well, yeah, all this from here on up, all the way as far as you can see, used to be woods, and I just keep cleaning more and more of it out and adding more plants. A lot of the plants I get, well, most of the plants I get are clearance plants, and so I don't necessarily have like a place to put them when I buy them, so I just plop them in anywhere. And then as I continue to clear out more garden beds and make my garden just evolve into what I want it to look like, I take those clearance plants and I eventually find like the perfect spot for them. So that's kind of how I garden. I just keep moving things around, and if I don't like it in a certain spot, I move it, or if it was never meant to be in that spot before, it's just temporary, I eventually move it. Anyway, I am standing right now in front of this area because I wanted to give you a little update. The other day I came in here and I took 3 beautiful hydrangeas, Annabelle hydrangeas, out of this area right here. When I first planted them, they were directly behind these stained glass tassa here, and since then I had cleaned out more of the garden bed and planted more things, but you couldn't see it. My plan was to just move them back. However, we have a dead tree right there and we are going to be cutting that down, so I just wanted to get them completely out of this area for now, and I moved them all up there, and then I'll probably split another hydrangea this fall when it's a little bit cooler, and put more back here, but just move them back a little bit more. But I want to go up here and show you what they look like. It's been 2 days, and I did go ahead and cut them back by about 1/3. There were 2 that were kind of struggling, so I cut those back, and then I was like, I'll just do the rest of them too. So let's go take a quick look, and then we'll start digging more garden bed out. This is the area that they were in. I had 3 of them right here, 1, 2, 3, and it looks super bare now, but it feels fresh and clean, and like I can breathe. I kind of felt crowded in here. It was gorgeous, beautiful, but every time I walked in this path, I'm just like, oh, I feel crowded. I really want to bump those back. So it does look a lot different right now, but eventually, like I said, I'm going to, well, there's one hydrangea right there. I am going to bump them back and have them lining this whole woods. But let's go up here and I'll show you how they're doing. Right up here in Raccoon Alley. These 2 right here, I split with my shovel. I just kind of shoved my shovel into the root system. So these ones were, I don't know, struggling a little bit more, but you can see they're fine. I just came in here and I cut the blooms off. And then, let's see here, I'll go slow. These ones over here were really not struggling at all. Some of the leaves were just a tiny bit droopy, but I did go ahead and cut some of the blooms off. A few of the younger ones I left. There's 1, and then there's 3 over here. So I did just want to share that with you guys. You can cut the blooms off if you feel like it will help the plant a little bit more root in and survive. Like that one, oh, that one's dead, that's why. And that one's broken off too, that's why it's droopy. So I've got my shovel, and we are just gonna walk up here and assess the situation, see what we can do. show you this too. Oh, I'm so glad we're coming over here. There's a few things I want to show you. Okay, this is one thing I want to show you. This was an experiment. I planted some beacon impatiens in the full sun. It's really early in the morning right now, but this gets full sun the majority of the day, and they are doing amazing. I cannot believe it. This right here, see if I can try to show you how big this is. So this is one plant. There's no browning on it. There is tons of flowers, tons more buds. So this was an awesome experiment. You can see I have another patch right there and then another patch over there. And I wish I had a patch of grass right here. But I think I figured out what was going on. The mulch is washing in here when it rains, so I got to come in here and clean the mulch out. But everywhere else, my grass is growing in really well. Anyway, back to the impatiens. This was an awesome experiment. If you live in Michigan zone 4 or 5 and you want to try beacon impatiens in the full sun, go for it. They seem to do just fine. They're beautiful. Another thing I wanted to show you is my delphiniums. They are putting on their second bloom. Some of them, that one fell over and I had to stake it up, so it's looking kind of sad. But these ones I cut a little bit too late, so they're coming up late. But that one I cut sooner, and you can see it's putting on another flush of blooms. So yeah, it's pretty cool. But anyway, we are going to be working over here, and our property line, you can see kind of where my husband mowed. It goes straight down from that little box right there, and so I'm pretty much on the property line. Oh gosh, look at all those weeds. We could clean those up too. And then here, sorry if this is shaky, but then it goes down here, and it does go kind of like up next to that tree. So I think I'm going to start cleaning out all this and see how far we get.
You've been making your brags around town that you've been loving my man. But the man I love, when he picks up trash, he puts it in a garbage can. But that's what you look like to me. And if you get too cute or witty, you better close your face and stay out of my way. If you don't wanna go to Fifth City, if you don't wanna go to Fifth City, you better detour around my town. 'Cause I'll grab you by the hair of the head and lift you over the ground. I'm not saying my baby's a saint, 'cause he ain't, and he won't get around with a kitty. I'm here to tell you, girl, lay off of my man if you don't wanna go to Fifth City. Come on, tell me what you told my friends, if you think you're brave enough. And I'll show you what a real woman is, if you think you're hot stuff. You bite off more than you can chew. If you get too cute or weird, you better move your feet. If you don't wanna eat a meal, it's called Fifth City. If you don't wanna go to Fifth City, you better detour around my town. 'Cause I'll grab you by the hair of the head and lift you over the ground. I'm not saying my baby's a saint, 'cause he ain't, and he won't cat around with a kitty. I'm here to tell you, girl, lay off of my man if you don't wanna go to Beer City. If you don't wanna go to Beer City, you better detour around my town. 'Cause I grab you by the hair of the head, lift you over the ground. I'm not saying my baby's a saint, 'cause he ain't, and then he won't cat around with a kitty. I'm here to tell you, girl, lay off of my man if you don't wanna go to Beer City. I'm here to tell you, girl, lay off of my man.
So I made it pretty far, and I kind of come in here and do this about, I don't know, once every couple of years. I just keep going back a little bit further, but this is the furthest back I will go though, because this is our property line. So I kept kind of gathering wood pieces from this end, because I put like wood log edging in here, but I stopped up at like right there. So I just took all these and added them up there. So I'm gonna go to my wood pile and get a few more logs to fill in this space. So yeah, I just pretty much use everything that I have in my yard, and I try not to buy anything if I don't have to.
I'm a rolling stone, all alone and lost. For a life of sin, I paid the cost. When I pass on by, all the people sing, just another guy on the lost highway. Just a deck of cards and a jug of wine, and a woman's eyes made a heart like mine. On the day we met, I went astray.
Mine was like right here on the edge of that tree, and I just pushed it back a little bit more. And that is basically our property line. It goes all the way down. And then what I'm gonna do, oh, that's nice too. It gave that Black Beauty elderberry a little bit more room. But I need to come up here and clean up my pile. So I just cleaned all this up. This was all super nasty. I'm gonna kind of rake it up a little bit and clean it more. But my plan is eventually, one of these days, to go all the way down and make all of that into a flower bed that connects to my rose garden. And oh, you know what? If there are no bees on this lamb's ear, I'm gonna hack it back. Yeah, I'm gonna do that while I'm out here, I think. But yeah, so we planted these juniper and gosh, I don't remember, sugar time crab apples in here, and it looks really pretty with just the circles around the trees. But I'm gonna give them a little time to grow up, and then eventually, like I said, I want to create like a flower bed all in there and connect it. That's my plan anyway, to connect it to this rose garden and carry it on in through my gully garden. Oh, there's another big pile I gotta clean up too. So I think it's looking pretty good. Let's go over here and look from this angle. It's hard to see because of the sun. Let me clean up those lamb's ear while I'm out here. lamb's ear back. I've been waiting. I didn't see any bumblebees on it this time, so I did see them on my Cleome, which is right next to it, but there were none on the lamb's ear. So I went ahead and hacked those back. It looks so much better. My gosh, those were driving me nuts. So, but anyway, let's go grab the gator, and I got a couple pretty big piles to clean up, and then we'll go in and show you what it all looks like.
I was just a lad, nearly 22, either good nor bad, just a kid like you. And I'm lost, too late to pray, or to take the calls on the lost highway. Now boys, don't start your rambling round on this road of sin, or your sorrow bound. Take my advice, or you curse the day you start rolling down that lost highway. You start rolling down that lost highway. You start rolling down that lost highway.
So before we put this shed in here, this was all just woods, and we came in here, cut down a couple of trees, and my brother built this retaining wall, and then we put this shed in. Well, before that, we used to just like dump all of our brush in there that we dug out and didn't want anymore, and kind of had like a burn pile. We don't really have anywhere to do that anymore, so eventually I want to clear a path through here so I can drive the gator in there and then go back in the woods and dump. So eventually I'm going to have to move these hosta, but I'm not going to do that right now. I want to clean out all this woods too, eventually. But right now I would like to have like a spot where I can just back the gator in and dump all my trash. And I feel like this is a really good spot for now. So I hate where that hosta is because it kind of breaks up that cool line of carex. So I want to move that. And then I might even move that carex and put it down on the other side of that drift. So that will create a space in there. And then I'm going to move that seducer hosta. So then I'll be able to just like back right in here and dump down there, which actually will work really good because eventually I want to, like I said, clean all this out, and this goes on a slope. So if I dump my trash here, then I will be able to have like not as much of a slope. So let's do that. I'm gonna quick move a couple plants out of the way. That way I can back in here. I might move that little evergreen tree too. We will see what happens. I'm out here, I'm just gonna take care of all these big extra blocks that are from our retaining wall. I'm just gonna take them around here and move them in my little kind of planting area. And then I also dug from over there and that to make a path. I dug this variegated boxwood out. I'm gonna put it in this planter right here. It's a little small, but I don't know where I want it to go, so I'm just going to put it in the planter. It's easier to move. I don't have to keep digging it. And then I have a giant planter around the corner. I think I'm going to put this little tree in. And yeah, so then we'll have this area cleaned up. It's been an eyesore for a couple months now. I want to take you up and just show you what we did. I'm going to walk up here so you can see the line a little bit better. Looks so much better. It is a little bit more sunny out here because I had to take a break and go inside and do some work. I work from home, but you can see those impatiens there are in the full sun now and doing great. Also, I'm curious to see if this is one of the sunflowers I planted and maybe it just got moved by, I don't know, a chipmunk or somebody. Yeah, you can see the line is much more straight and clean. We cleaned up all the weeds and all the Virginia creeper that was coming over. That is something I constantly have to keep an eye on, the Virginia creeper. It is insane. It's that 5-leaf vine right there, and if I didn't keep my eye on it, it would take over my entire garden. It just grows native out here. So we came back behind this tree. It used to kind of all be nasty weeds in there, and I've always loved this tree. I just think it is so neat. So I'm super excited to clean out around it. Let's see here. We came in back here because my goal is to eventually, you can see I've got these Annabelle hydrangeas there, and I want to continue them down this whole line. So this will give me lots of room to do that. And then we just went and connected it with those logs. And then all the stuff that I dug up, I went ahead and dumped in like a new little dumping area that I made. We can go down there and I'll show you that. I had that Carex right there. I had that right there, and I moved it over there. I moved that hosta. It was right here, and I moved it over there. I think that's a Diamond Lake hosta. And then I moved, there was a Seducer hosta right there, and I went ahead and planted it in this blue planter right here just because I didn't want to keep disturbing the roots and moving it. That'll be easier to move it around from that planter. Then I also had, you can see those two shrubs right there. Those were in here as well, right there and right there. I went ahead and moved those and put them in the pots. And now you can back right into this area and dump, which is awesome. So yeah, I think it turned out pretty good for just like a temporary solution. So I had a retaining wall block that was broken, and I buried it in the ground, and then I set my terracotta pot on it just so the bottom of this pot won't rot. I also did the same thing to this pot, except for this one I just had on like a piece of rock and covered it up. So yeah, hopefully those will do better in those pots for now. I'll keep them watered until I find a good spot for them. And honestly, I kind of like them right there. I think they're kind of cute. They kind of break up all of the green variegated hosta that is going on in there. I do have to clean up this line a little bit of the rocks and figure out some sort of a border to put there so that the rocks don't keep creeping into the mulch. And then I have 3 Alexander the Great Brunnera right here. The third one, I don't know. They've been trampled on by a bunch of things because we were working out here this spring. The third one is in here somewhere. I think that's it, actually. Oh my gosh, that poor thing. So the root system in there is awesome. We'll just leave it. I'm actually tempted to go grab a bunch of rocks that I just dug up from up in Raccoon Alley and make a little border right here with those. I thought we were done, but let's just do that first and then we'll be done. Alright, that looks a lot better. Just added a little rock border. And I'll be good to go for now. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that kind of maybe inspired you to clean out some more garden beds, and also just encouraged you to use the things that you have in your yard. I know not everybody lives up against a woods, so it's not like everybody has just free wood and rocks and all these different things. So completely understand that. But this is just what I have. This is what I use, and I just choose to kind of work with my elements and work with what God gave me in my yard. And you know, obviously I do go out and buy things, but everybody's garden is different. Everybody has different zones and different weather, different space constraints, different, you know, sun and shade elements. So, you know, just do what works best for you. And I hope that I can just, I don't know, maybe inspire you a little bit and you can apply it to your own yard and garden. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope that you just have a really great day. Bye.